at TEO HALM. So if you guys have any questions, is there anyone who'd like to start it off?
Sure. I understand that they took away all your cell phone cameras and any sort of texting devices so that you guys could really bond as a team. Did that help, or were you kind of desperate for your internet?
No, not at all. Yeah, we had it a week before we actually started filming. We ended up doing a week of rehearsals with the coach, and then we also went to Universal City Walk, and we did the indoor skydiving there, which was really fun. We also went bowling, and we ate out to had some Italian food and bonded over that a little bit prior to filming.
Yeah, they took away our phones? I
But-
don't Everybody keeps saying that. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Something about they wanted you to bond, so they took that away.
I don't remember them taking away.
I would not let them take my phone.
Oh, that never happened. You guys never had that experience.
Not me.
So you guys have such an incredible relationship and camaraderie on the screen. Has that translated into real life? And also, how much, because of your friendship on screen, how much play did they give you with your lines and with your actions and you know,
Yeah.
and scenes?
I mean, I can definitely say it's not like we hate each other. We're really good friends now, and I think we always were, especially when we started, because it was all of our, for us, it was our first big productions, and we had like a kind of collective nervousness, and I think that definitely helped us bond, as well as, I mean, yeah, Henry and Dave did a really good job of keeping the script kind of natural, and they were not afraid to doubt themselves and ask if lines didn't sound natural. We were open to suggestions, and they, you know, it was very like, it was a calm set, you know, I'm glad that I was not scared, nobody was scared to voice their opinions.
You know, most child star, you know, films, most of the time you just have to be a kid. So the less acting and the more just being a kid you are, the more natural and real it seems, which it worked out like that for the movie, which really helped.
So during your guys' time of bonding in real life, I mean, I know you guys have sort of that tight bond now. Were there any challenges that you guys ran into bonding? Did you guys have any moments where it was challenging for you, or was it just an easy, kind of breezy thing?
Me and Tail got in a fist fight one day, but other than that, I could do all right.
I mean, I'm not really a shy person, but when I first got on set, since I was so nervous, I was pretty shy, and I didn't really like feel like conversating too much, but I think that it helped my comfort on set, having, you know, people my age, and that it added to the, you know, there weren't many adults in the cast, so, you know, knowing that the other kids knew what I was going through was cool.
I got into an argument with Ella too at rehearsals.
I remember that too.
But that was good because it worked. Like it was like the same type of thing on screen. I didn't really like at first, but then you know we ended up cool.
Like you at first.
But we ended up cool at the end, so it worked great for like the chemistry on screen and stuff.
Yeah.
They got very into character.
No, but it's safe to say we're really close now. We're good buds.
Astro, you started off in music, you made the transition to acting. So is there a plan to keep them both going, or how are you going to juggle the two?
Yeah, no, I still do music. Music is still my main thing. Acting is something I'm like trying out. And I know some people think I'm crazy when I say trying out, and this is like a major film. But yeah, like I love them both equally. But like I have like one more thing to shoot right now, and then I'm gonna just take a break because it's a lot of work. Like it's fun to actually shoot and be on set, but the promotional tours and stuff, like you really got to be prepared for that. So.
Now, Ellie, you also have a lot of television experience behind you with Army Wives. Totally different than working on a film, especially between the drama and the film. What were some of the changes you've noticed between the disciplines of doing a TV series and doing a motion picture?
Yeah, TV series are very structured. You know what scenes you're going to do that day. It's all very timed out, as opposed to a movie set. You might spend a couple hours on one scene getting different angles, or it might go by like a breeze. It really depends. I think with movies you have more freedom, which is really nice, because we talked with the director and he was open to suggestions, and if something didn't sound natural, he was open to changing it. We talked to Henry too. Kudos to them. They were awesome to work with.
Obviously, this is a really fun extraterrestrial movie, but what are your thoughts on sort of life in outer space? What do you guys think?
The
For
thing that we
sure,
have to
yeah.
remember is that we all live in the Matrix, so. Other than that, there's definitely a possibility if the universe is infinite, then there's a chance, maybe.
Now, you guys are all young. Have you ever had your own adventures off camera? I mean, or is this your basic first time going on an adventure with friends?
I mean, besides finding an alien and documenting it and putting it in the theaters, I mean, that was one of our very, it wasn't as exciting as our other adventures, but no, I mean, I've, like, Ella, for instance, Ella loves adrenaline. She wants to go, like, skydiving and all that stuff, and I guess the boys,
Yeah, I'm good on the adventure stuff. Maybe later on in life, but yeah.
This is kind of adventure in its own, you know, being here, being in a movie, that's crazy.
My biggest adventure is happening right now.
You guys ever say to the director, do we still have to ride our bikes? Are you kidding me?
I think the bikes weren't the problem. It was the heat.
Yeah.
Since most of the movie took place at night, I mean, our characters were geared up to wear like really heavy clothes. So I mean, we ranged from like wearing 3 layers to Reese having to wear like 8 layers of clothing, and like we had like top like parkas and like ski hoodies and stuff. So I think it was fine until the day where we had to shoot inside like the construction site. It was 115 degrees. We were shooting in Santa Clarita, and we were in like we couldn't have AC because of the shots, and it was so hot. They were like we were shooting during the extremities. Like it was either really hot or there were like other complications. Reese got heat. Yeah,
I did get heat stroke one time. We were working. Funny thing was that filming in Santa Clarita, that's right where I live. So another good thing was I could have just walked to set. I would wake up like 30 minutes before the call time and go, and they're like waking up an hour before. So I got pretty lucky with that.
an hour, more like 2, 3.
There were some scenes that we saw at the very end that actually took place earlier in time, and then we also got to see some where so apparently you had gotten older. How much was that just makeup, or did you just grow that much during the processing and the filming of it every day?
While they were doing CGI, we had, like through like processing and all the post-production, there was a big gap. I mean, we shot the movie 2 years ago, and I think that Henry or Dave, one of them got the idea to kind of have us all meet up, our characters kind of meet up again after we all moved away. So we shot that scene where we all meet up again exactly 1 year later, and yeah, that was, I mean, we definitely grew a lot. I think we've definitely changed a lot by now. And the scenes where we looked like the scenes from our childhood, they just used makeup for that. They made us look like we were 6 or 7. No. We actually had to send in home videos, yeah.
Astro and Ella, can you talk about the challenges to just working on a film, just in general, the toughest things for both of you?
Challenges. Well, definitely the CGI in the film, pretending something is there when it really isn't, just because it's left to the imagination. It makes our job as actors harder, but I mean, it is ultimately our job, and we try to have as authentic of reactions as possible.
For me, one of the main challenges was like waking up early, because I'm not used to that. I wake up at like 1 o'clock. And the other challenge was like the motto on the set, on any movie set, I think, is like hurry up and wait. Like that would get me mad, because it was like I'm young, and I like moving around and playing and being active all the time, but it's like they call you to set and you gotta sit there for like 30 minutes till they get the camera ready. You'd be like, all right, but let me run and get some snacks from cater real quick. They'd be like, no, we'll get it for you, and you gotta sit there and wait. But other than that, it wasn't like any real challenges. Like it was pretty much fun.
The struggles.
So in between having all this fun and struggling, was school on the set incorporated?
It was during the summer, so we were off of school. Yeah,
You guys were off of school, I wasn't.
Right?
I don't know, yeah.
Like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, because it took place at the end of summer, and I know Reese and I at the time, they were doing homeschool, Reese and I were in 8th grade, and it was really tough, because, I mean, the law states that we have to do 3 hours of school, and being on such a busy set, it was really tough, because a lot of times we wouldn't get to finish scenes that we were planning on doing that day. And so we just like, it was such a busy set and it was such a productive set as a result.
A lot of youngsters are going to see you on screen and want to sort of follow in your footsteps. What's your sort of top piece of advice for kids that want to get into acting?
One thing to recognize is, as dumb as it sounds, school is actually completely important. Like legally, it's important. If you don't have good grades, they will not let you be an actor. That's a serious thing. You cannot get a work permit because you're under 18. You have to be having good grades to have a work permit to do acting. So if you're not getting good grades, you can't be an actor.
Well, think about your quick.
Can somebody else, sorry, just,
No, sorry.
any other advice?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot of being turned down, you know, if you go in for a part, and there's a very big chance that you won't get it, and you have to learn to live with that. I mean, I went through maybe 150 auditions before I booked my first role, and after that, this just happened to be my first major role, and that was around my 170th. It's a lot of auditions, and I guess you have to be like a successful actor. I guess you have to be very tenacious and not want to give up, and that's pretty tough.
Tenacious.
Using big words. I studied the dictionary last night.
Well, a thing that I always compare it to is that it's kind of like baseball, where you get up to bat, you might miss, you might swing, you might get first base, you might get a callback, and then you'll do a million before you get a home run. But you still have to recognize that it's all fun and you'll be up to bat soon enough anyway again. So you can't let it get to you.
You guys all play completely, different characters, and I'm wondering if you identify with that character that you play, or you identify more with, the other person. Like, would you be Munch, or would you be more, like Alex? Who do you guys think that you would be?
I definitely agree with Munch on making sure he's on our side, not trying to eat us or invade us. Always got to ask that question first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like his aspect of always being prepared and always being ready for anything. He takes it to the next level. But he's super loyal and he's very innocent. So I wouldn't say I try to be as loyal as he is, but like he wouldn't lie ever. I'm working toward that.
I'm not my character. I'm a polar opposite. Alex is like super, he's shy and he never like wants to talk about stuff, and I'm like super talkative and I never want to like shut up. But I think I'm Tuck's character. I like to film everything. I'm really like tech savvy and stuff like that, and
I'm sort of like Tuck. I don't go that hard with like the filming, spy glasses and GoPros and stuff. I used to like film little comedy skits with my friends and put them on YouTube, but I lost my camera, and after that, like I didn't feel like paying for another one, so I just gave up on that dream. But yeah, and he's very ambitious, and he's from New York, like I'm from New York too. So.
Well, now being so tech savvy, you two, did the filmmakers, did Dave and everybody get the tech stuff correct?
Yeah, I mean, two or three of the scenes were actually shot on the iPhone, and I think that's probably like the first time iPhone footage is premiered on a full-size movie screen. I mean, that's pretty bold of Dave, certainly, and I think it worked out for the best. He definitely understood the aspect of, like modern day technology. We use GoPros, like we didn't actually use them, but we put them in frame. Astro had spy glasses. I'm not sure if anyone uses spy glasses nowadays.
They might be using them in this very room.
What would you
Alright
like
guys,
to
we have like 2 minutes left, so just a few more questions.
I was just going to say, what would you like to spy on if you had a pair of spy glasses?
Good question, yeah.
I want to see what Astro does every time he walks off set to go to craft service.
What would you do, like put the glasses on him or something? Like in his shirt?
That's a good question.
Because you're still just following him and looking at him, so it's the same thing.
Well, this is for everybody. What do you hope the audience takes away from seeing this movie?
I mean, it's a very family-friendly movie. I think anyone can see it, honestly. It appeals to younger kids with it being, with Echo being so cute and cuddly, you just want to like hug him. But it's also nostalgic to the older adults, bringing back the 80s movie genre. And I think it's really appealing to all ages, which is really unique. And it involves, technology, which is so evident in our lives today. I mean, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, it plays a huge role in our society.
The main thing that we hope for them to take away is that even though you're kids, it doesn't mean your parents' signature to do everything. Another thing is, friendship and teamwork can be powerful enough to find an alien, save it, help build a spaceship. Like, That's the main thing.
And what was it like to hold that animatronic Echo for the first time?
We had to be careful. I mean, the legacy effects, the crew who made it, like, they would have to have him like harnessed in. Like, if we dropped him, they would like. I was the one who held him most of the time when we used the animatronic one, and they would like. I'm really clumsy myself, and they'd always be like, "Teo, if you drop that, you were fired." Like, and the same thing with the camera. Like, I had to hold we used a Red Epic, which is a super heavy camera. And I had to hold that. I was like freaking out, like, I don't want to drop it. It's a $50,000 camera. It was much easier to kind of, you know, like when you're looking at the cute little guy, it's easier to act when he's actually in your hand, the animatronic one, rather than when you're using CGI. You know, you're like saying like this heartfelt message to the palm of your hand, pretending he's there. So it's definitely interesting.
Have you all seen the movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What movie?
What was it like to see yourselves on screen and after, you know, because a lot of that stuff you didn't really, like holding the actual robot, you know? So how was it to see that play out on screen, like the final product? How was that like?
Well, the entire truck scene was interesting to see because, you know, the one where it explodes in front of us and rebuilds, because that was, you know, we've been waiting for that forever. And then I could not watch the movie because I'm so busy watching myself, like, picking my nose or picking my butt or something stupid on camera. I'm like, what was I doing there? But I need to go back and, like, sit down and watch the movie.
I don't know what you're talking about, picking your butt, but...
Yeah, hopefully that's probably all edited out.
Yeah, thanks, dude. And it's,
Do you have anything else to say?
well, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's also just as an actor watching yourself, it's so weird. It's so weird, and especially when you're younger. I mean, we turned 14 on set, both of us, and my birthday was actually the first day of filming. Talk about first day jitters. So it's weird watching yourself and critiquing yourself.
Guys, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much.